Hello everybody and welcome, I am Bricker Boom, and after what feels like forever and a day just using starter Pokemon, even though it was every other week, we're able to use one that I actually really enjoy. Today we're going to see if we can beat the game Pokemon Emerald with only a Snorlax. Snorlax being one of my favorite Pokemon. Snorlax is a tanky Pokemon with a thick HP stat, a solid attack, and special defense. Its physical defense and special attack are at least passable, and then its speed is pretty horrid, but when your other stats are so good, doesn't really matter if you can outrun things or not. From a moves perspective, we get your standard level up moves like Headbutt, Body Slam, Hyper Beam, and from a TM perspective, well, it's a normal type. It has access to pretty much anything and everything under the sun. While our special isn't nearly as good as our physical, we can probably still make use of it. At the very least, it'll provide good coverage, especially as we make our way into the later half of the game. As we grab our Snorlax, we have a Brave Nature, which boosts our great attack even further, and lowers our poor speed even more. Honestly, best case scenario. Our ability is Thick Fat, meaning we'll take even less from fire and ice moves, making us even tankier. That'll be good, given the fact that we have Flannery and also Glacia to worry about as we get into the game. So for the beginning of the game and the beginning rival fight, I mean, would you expect us not to win? We're gonna have some travel to go through, and while we do, I want to talk about two things. The first being, if you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're still working on watch hours, and as of writing this script, the Eevee video just posted. I did experiment with a slightly different style of thumbnail, so any kind of feedback with that would be greatly appreciated. The second thing is that I think Snorlax will definitely be able to pull off this challenge. I'm not sure about the secret Steven Stone fight at the end, but we'll find out. As we get to the hard-hitting physical attackers like Drake, and again that secret Steven Stone fight, I think that's where we're going to go ahead and run into some issues just because our special is so much better than our physical defense. Again, it's passable, but it's still not the best. For now, though, we find our way to Rustboro, and we make sure to do some leveling up along the way. That gives us access to Belly Drum, and at the sacrifice of half our HP, we can maximize our attack. So, let's go ahead and fight Roxanne. With Roxanne, we start by doing as many defense scrolls as we possibly can to max out our defense. After that, we use Belly Drum to max out that attack, and then we do have a berry to activate to give us a little bit of health. With that set up, we start actually doing pretty decent bits of damage to the first Geodude. After that, we can repeat the process with the second Geodude, though our HP is not great by now. Nosepass starts by hardening, and we can take it down to low yellow after tanking a block as Roxanne heals up. Nosepass goes for harden again, we get a critical hit to finish it off, and get the first badge. With Roxanne out of the way, we'll make sure to go ahead and head towards Dewford, though we'll be sure to go ahead and take care of the optional rival fight as well. With May, it's more of the same, just missing Tackle as it sets up Curse. When we see how little Tackle does, we speed things up for a little bit to take it down. Then, when Mudkip comes out, we can just take it out in a few more tackles. Now, we do have some Aqua and Magma plotline to get out of the way before we head to Dewford. Now, if you've watched this channel before, better yet, me actually completing these particular games in challenges, we do skip through a good portion of the Aqua and Magma fights. There are a lot of them, and I don't think you want to be here for 3 hours, nor do I have the desire to write and record a script that long, so if you're cool with it, I think we're just going to go ahead and cover the bigger fights, and that'll probably be about it. In that time, though, through the power of editing and speeding up footage and cutting out some, we find ourselves ready to face off against Brawly. Brawly starts with the Machop, and it sets a bulk up as we do Defense Curl, then Belly Drum and Berry. Thankfully, a single Headbutt is able to take it down as Meditite comes out. It starts to bulk up as well, but goes down in a single shot. Then, finally, you have Makuhita, and it tries to do the same thing, taking it down in one go to win a pretty simple battle. I definitely don't want to do Belly Drum and attack strats every single time. However, in a gym that we have a distinct type disadvantage against, I think it's okay. So with that done, we'll go ahead and move to the next little area, and we do have one of the harder May fights in these particular runs. May starts off with Lombre, and we open with Belly Drum, and after that, we just tear our way through her team. I know eventually the likely outcome is that the Belly Drum attack combo will come to an end. One, because I'll eventually get bored of it, and two, because we're probably just going to get hit too hard. However, I'm still probably going to take advantage of it for now, and it'll also put it into Wally's solo run. Now that that's out of the way, we can head to one of the harder gym leaders, especially this early on, unless you picked Mudkip as a starter, but Watson is usually a nightmare. Watson starts with Voltorb, and we get hit with a weak Spark as we take down the Voltorb. Electrike comes out, and it uses Leer as we take it down with the Headbutt, but we do get paralyzed off Static. Next out is Magneton, and Supersonic misses, and we stay paralyzed. Shockwave connects, and we stay paralyzed again. It uses Sonic Boom, and we start headbutting, finally, being able to take it to red. Unfortunately, Watson heals up, and we end up going down. So, can you guess what happens? We use our Belly Drum Headbutt strategy and mow our way through his team. With another leader out of the way, we have a decent bit of travel ahead of us. Now, this travel takes us to the top of a volcano, and as I've said, that is probably the most anime thing in these early games. Now, the good news is, being a normal type, we don't really have any big weaknesses except for fighting. However, there is one glaring weakness that we're starting to have with Snorlax, and that is the fact that we have such limited PP. As I'm looking through moves, I'm gonna have to pick up some special moves because, again, our special isn't great, it's just passable, but we need some other options right now because having just Headbutt as an attacking move is gonna catch up to us real quick. For now, though, let's go ahead and take a look at one of the few bad guy battles that we have. Mightyena is first, and it uses Howl as we take it below half with Headbutt. We get hit with Bite, and then we can take it down. Zubat is next. It opens with Wing Attack for not so much damage as we use Rest to get our health back. The Zubat does confuse us and we smack ourselves before using Snore, best option we got right now, which does connect and then we get confused again. Wing Attack, still not doing much. We do snap out of confusion, then take it down. The last up is Camera Up, and Magnitude 7 does good damage and Headbutt isn't the best, but we do take it to red as Maxie heals up. As Camerupt is healed up, we go back to sleep and start using Snore to damage it best we can. Problem is, dude gets back-to-back critical hits on high roll magnitudes, so we go down pretty quickly. The next battle, though, honestly, it's a lot easier for us. It was just the fact that we had bad RNG, and that is why we go ahead and do these battles multiple times to make sure that doesn't happen. So, with that victory done and out of the way, we'll go ahead and continue with the gym leader portion of things, and we're gonna find ourselves in Flannery's gym. Flannery first starts off with Numel, and we body slam it, taking it down in one shot. Slugma is next, and we continue with body slam, also downing it in one go, because Slugma is terrible. We have a camera up out, and it uses Attract. Two thick beefcakes in love with each other. It's like watching Full Metal Alchemist for the first time. Anyway, we body slam it to red, Flannery heals up, Overheat connects, but it isn't doing much due to our bulk and thick fat. It takes some time to take it down between the heal ups and the Attract, but we do manage to get to Torkoal, as it also uses Attract, but we do paralyze it with body slam. We spend one turn attracted, and then we can actually just take it down a few turns later. Now that we've got the first half of the game knocked out, we'll go ahead and talk about Snorlax as a whole. We already know that Snorlax is a good Pokemon all the way back from Gen 1. The biggest thing that limits this Pokemon is honestly the level up moveset. Once we get a little bit later in the game and have access to things like Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, we'll be doing a lot better. I'll probably keep Rest and Belly Drum and just have one special move, but I'm not entirely sure yet. If you weren't aware, I tend to write this as I go along, so even I don't know how things will end. Now, one thing that you may notice as we do start getting those TMs, the particular version of the game that I am using does allow TMs to be reused, mostly so we don't have to go and keep purchasing them, etc. So just kind of keep that in mind if you see me swapping out the different TMs. It's just a time saver, basically. Time for Norman. Norman sends out Spinda, and it opens with Teeter Dance, and we smack ourselves. Then, the next turn, we can take it down with a single Body Slam. After that, Slacking, his scariest Pokemon, is out, and Facade does a lot. We rest, get hit hard, then hit it with Snore. We wake up and Body Slam it to take it to about half and paralyze it. Another Body Slam on its loafing turn, then we take it down. After that, Vigoroth is next, and we get hit hard with the Slash as we take it to red. Norman heals up, we take it to red. Norman heals a couple times, and we paralyze it, so we can go ahead and take it down. And then after that, Linoon is out and Belly Drums, but it doesn't quite have the same effect as we do when we do it, so we take it down with a single Body Slam. And that's one more battle done and over with. Now that we have access to Surf, we go to the Weather Institute, pack up the trainers there, and then go on to the final May fight. Now, I'm gonna ask this because I ask every single time I play this run, but as you know, the audience does get a little bit bigger with every video. Do any of y'all happen to know, we'll say totally legit cartridges that allow me to have a harder May fight? Like, even if she just pops up at the end of Victory Road, something. Don't get me wrong, there is the battle in front of the department store, but one, that isn't even mandatory. Two, it's also not that difficult. If you got something, let me know, but for now, we'll go ahead and cover the last of her battles that she even bothers to show up in. May first sends out Lombre, and we get hit with Fake Out. After that, it uses Nature Power, and we Body Slam it for a clean one-shot. Next out is Slugma, and we continue with another Body Slam, taking it down. Marshtomp is up next, and we get hit with Takedown for decent damage, and Body Slam does a lot, taking it to a Sliver, and then it uses Takedown on us, taking it to what I have to imagine is a single HP, and we finish it off with Body Slam in the best overkill way imaginable to win a pretty simple battle. From there, we gotta get some things knocked out, and one of those things is backtracking to Mauville. Watson has the side quest to go grab Thunderbolt, which we make sure to grab. Again, not the best special, but it gives us more coverage, and some extra PP, and we're going into a flying gym. So, after getting rid of a few Kecleon, it's time to fight Winona. Oh, also, I took out Zapdos. I've been there a dozen times, accidentally took a wrong turn, and ran into a legendary bird. Winona first starts with Swablu, and we get hit with Aerial Ace for not very much damage, and we take it down easy, which is good. If for some reason we can't beat Altaria, we at least now have a Pokemon we can use Belly Drum against and then rest up. After that, Tropius is out and sets up Solar Beam as we Body Slam and Paralyze it, which lets us outspeed to take it out. Pelipper comes out using Protect as it sets up Supersonic, and we smack ourselves, and it protects again as we smack ourselves again. After that, it fails Protect, and we Thunderbolt for a clean KO. Skarmory is out, and this is the main reason that I wanted Thunderbolt, TBH, because we take it to red with that. Winona heals up, we take it back to red. Winona heals again, and we take it to red, and then we miss. Steel Wing takes us down to 76 HP, so we take a little nap. A few turns later, we wake up, take it down, and then it's Altaria who sets up Dragon Dance as we Body Slam to take it to yellow. Earthquake hits for decent enough damage, but we now can take it down to win the battle and the badge. Alright, once more, we have some decent bit of travel, and now that we're getting close to springtime, what kind of plans do y'all have? I have a vacation next month, so I'm hoping to get some extra videos and shorts done the weekend of Easter, and that entire following week I'm going to be on vacation. I want to get my sad NPC video finally done, about 30 to 50 shorts, and hopefully with any luck, 1 to 2 challenge videos. I also have a Pokemon Jeopardy video I'd like to get done here soon. While Pokemon challenges are probably going to be the primary thing that I do focus on my channel, because I just genuinely enjoy them, I do want to do some other content just to... It's still going to be Pokemon related, let's be honest, but I want to do some other stuff, just to have fun with it. By the way, if there is any challenges that you want to see me do, make sure to go ahead and drop them into the comments below. Now, at this point of the game, we're starting to get into the later half of the Team Magma and Aqua plotline, which means we have a lot of battles in a pretty rapid fashion. However, the biggest one is probably going to be Maxie for right now, so let's go ahead and check out that battle. Mightyna's up first, so we get hit with Swagger, basically negating the Intimidation drop, and we use Thunderbolt, though in hindsight, Body Slam would have been better. Takedown connects, and we snap out of Confusion, hit it with Thunderbolt, taking it to a sliver as Maxi heals up. We keep using Thunderbolt for some reason. I'm just going to blame it on the fact that it was 9 a.m. when I was recording this, as it does finally go down. Next out is Crobat. We get hit with Confuse Ray, smacking ourselves as Wing Attack connects, and we smack ourselves again. We get hit with Wing Attack, then smack ourselves a third time before going down. The second time, it goes so much better in regards to the fact that we don't smack ourselves a million times and resting properly, so we're able to get through both the Mightyena and the Crobat, and then when the Camera Up comes out, we actually take it down in one Body Slam to win a pretty sloppy battle, one I'm not proud of, but at least one that I'm happy to be done with. So now we can go ahead and go to the next gym battle. We're gonna have to fight the twins here in a moment, and that's always tricky. I will admit, trying to cover double battles is definitely not my forte. While I am worried about writing that, I am also worried about Snorlax, because while it can take some hits, I don't think that it's going to be able to take 2 hits at a time, but only one way to find out, I guess. Tate and Liza start with Claydol and Xatu, and Xatu immediately takes out our sacrificial lamb, Famfi, as we tank an Earthquake and then body slam the Claydol to about half. We do get Confused Raid, which is not great, and we smack ourselves twice, so we go down. Now, here's a fun fact that you may not have known. Even if we don't smack ourselves a dozen times, we're still not able to take it down. So we do end up needing a few levels, and we gotta update our moveset just a smidge as well. We haven't had to level up, really, since the first gym leader, and that was just to make sure that we were going to be able to take her out. So I'm not going to complain about having to level up now. At level 50, we take the Claydol to yellow as it earthquakes, and the Xatu Calm Minds, and we take the Claydol down next turn. Knowing Xatu will set up to blast us into the Shadow Realm, we body slam it next turn for a one-shot, tanking another earthquake in the process. With the Lunatone, we're focusing solely on it, since Solrock likes to spam Solar Beam, and we do end up taking it down, but our HP isn't great, and we honestly played around with the crit range far too much before we do finally stubbornly use Rest. After that, it's just a giant tanking battle between the two, but we do eventually take it down to win this battle. After that, we smack down Archie, and it's not even close, so not worth the coverage, and then I guess we should probably go ahead and save the world. After some gorgeous pixelated 20-plus-year-old graphics, I think it's that old at this point, we go ahead to go see Juan, seeing how that particular battle will go. Love Disc is first, and we get hit with Water Pulse, barely taking any damage from it, so we go ahead and one-shot it. Whiscash is next and sets up a Rain Dance as we use Return, taking it to low yellow. Juan does heal up to full, and we can actually take it down next turn due to a crit. Celio is out next, and we get hit with Water Pulse, and Return takes it to a small sliver, but since there's no heal up, we can just go ahead and take it down. Crawdon comes out and misses its Crab Hammer as we take it to red. Then Juan heals up, and we take it out with a high roll on the damage next turn. Kingdra is his last Pokemon, and it uses Water Pulse, and we take it to yellow, and since the Water Pulse doesn't confuse us next turn, we take it down as well, winning a pretty simple battle. Now, with the 8 badges out of the way, we'll go ahead, hit Victory Road, show Wallace that he's no threat to us whatsoever, and then we'll talk about the Elite Four as a whole. Altaria is up first, and we use Thunderbolt as it uses Safeguard, and we're not doing too much. It begins to set up Dragon Dance as we swap over to Return, taking it out. Delcatty is next. It is horrible, only pinging us with Feint Attack before going down to another Return. Magneton is out, and we tank a Thunderbolt as Return takes it to about half. Another T-Bolt takes a small chunk of health, and we take it down. Roselia is next, sets up Leech Seed, which is a good chunk of health given how tanky we are, but we do take it down in one shot. Then, last up, it's Gardevoir, and it uses Future Sight as we use Return, taking it to a sliver as Leech Seed brings it to yellow. Out of healing, it sets up Double Team, but we do hit to knock it out and win the battle. Now, as we get into the Elite Four, I don't think Sydney is going to be too much of a problem. We'll probably have to rely on a little bit of luck, given how Swagger Confusion plays out. Phoebe is literally always a problem, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. Then you have Glacia, who I think will be a bit of an issue. Freezing is a pain, and the fact that Glalie can use self-destruct. Drake, probably not an issue, because Ice Beam and us being able to tank some hits, and I gotta imagine Wallace will probably go about the same way, but let's see what happens. Now normally, I provide some kind of exciting battle recap, but I wanted to see if the Belly Drum, Rest, and Rampage strat would work, and it totally does. Maybe not against anybody else because of the fact that I'm not going to be able to do this to Ghosts. However, I am able to do it against him, and it felt good. Let's go ahead and see if the rest of the Elite Four is just as easy. Probably not. Dusclops is first, so we make sure to add on Shadow Ball since it is physical and since it's super effective. Now, what you're going to see here is me doing a lot of restarting without even finishing the battle. Now, you may ask, why? Why would I do something like that? Curse. Curse is taking huge chunks of HP, and if we take down the Dusclops, that's great. We can get to Sableye, but it ensures that we can't use Shadow anymore. But it ensures that we can't use Shadow Ball anymore by using Grudge if we take it down. So get ready for probably the dumbest battle in existence since my Plusle and Minun video against the champion. With Dusclops, we take it down for once without getting cursed. Then, Sableye does end up using Grudge at the same time of the KO, so we're immediately out of Shadow Ball PP. Then, with the next Sableye, we have to slowly whittle away at it with Ice Beam until we are officially out of non-attacking moves that are normal type. So, with Bayonet, we swap between Return and then Rest Up when we need to until we get to use the only move I can at that point. Struggle. Struggle is doing solid damage to Bayonet and takes it down, and then with the Dusclops, it takes it down to low yellow, and we barely managed to take it out for a victory. I'm just very thankful that we had a max elixir to be able to go ahead and restore all of our PP without any issue. Now, for time purposes, I am going to skip to the winning attempt against Glacia. Despite us having thick fat, we lose this battle a lot. After the level up, we take Celio out in one go, and same with Glalie. We take the next Celio to red, and then the Glalie also goes down in one shot. Then, with Walrein, it goes to yellow, outside of healing range, hits us with Surf, and then it goes down. 9 times out of 10, we were able to make it to the Walrein, but given the fact that it has Surf and not an Ice move that we directly resist, that's what was causing us the issue. One more Elite Four, and then a champion battle to go, and then we'll go fight that secret fight. Drake starts off with Shelgon, and it starts with Protect, because it always does. We swap over to Ice Beam, taking it down in one go. Altaria's up, uses Double Edge as we take it down with a Return. Kingdra's up next, and we use Ice Beam for not so much damage as I would have hoped. Kingdra uses Dragon Dance, and we use Return, taking it down, likely due to the damage that it did take from Ice Beam. With Flygon, it hits us with Earthquake. We swap over to Ice Beam, taking it down. Salamence comes out, and we get hit with Dragon Claw for solid damage, and Ice Beam takes it down, winning the last of the Elite Four. But can we beat the champ? Whalmer is first, and we can take it down to red as we get hit with a Water Sport. The champ heals up, and we take it back to red, then knock it out. The Tentacruel is able to Toxic us, and we do end up taking it down. Ludicolo will use some double team stall strats, so we take it down as quickly as possible rather than resting to get rid of Toxic, because it doesn't matter if we can't hit it. Whiscash is our best chance to rest up, and we do that, and tank some Earthquakes, taking it down a few turns later. With the Gyarados, it's able to hit hard, so we repeat the process, resting when Earthquake takes us to low, and then knock it out. And then last but not least is Milotic, and we hit with Return, Rest, Return, and when the champ heals, we can take it down a few turns later. Now we have one more fight, and for the sake of my sanity and my time, we're going to go ahead and skip ahead. While I cover some background here, I'll do what I do for other things and just show some of the lost footage attempts in the background. We can usually make it to the Metagross after we start leveling up and are able to predict the moves that he's going to use a little bit better. But not surprisingly at all, Metagross is able to one-shot us time and time again. Honestly, it actually got to the point that I was wondering if I was even going to be able to beat this battle with Snorlax. But finally, at level 100, we take Skarmory to yellow as we get hit with Toxic, and then we can take it out. With our Maldo, we're attacking until we get to that danger zone, then take a nap. Now the problem is, Slash is doing pretty big damage, especially on those crits, but we do manage to take it down. As Claydol comes out and sets up a screen, we take it down in 2 turns. Aggron, that's going to be the one that we rest against because it likes to use Solar Beam and that doesn't do much. We trade attack some and we finally take it down. Now we have Cradily, and after way too many Ice Beams and not enough damage dealt to us, we're able to take it down. Last is his Metagross, and Meteor Mash is doing solid damage, so we rest up. We use Thunderbolt on other turns, and once again, risking the crit, we're just heading straight for the throat, and barely take it out with only 64 HP remaining to win the battle and the run. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this battle, because I do love Snorlax, though admittedly in this game it may not be the best. I definitely want to redo the first generation challenge with Snorlax and see how well it goes, especially now that I know the game as well as I do. For next week, I think we're going to hop back into the first form fossil Pokemon. It wasn't until some feedback telling me that I was doing poor editing on the Aerodactyl video that the editing actually got better. So we have to do those, the legendary birds, Mewtwo, honestly a lot of Pokemon that I'm excited to get to use again. The more I learn about these games, hopefully the better it's going to be. For now, though, I got to get this recorded as it is currently 11:15 p.m. the night before I post it. Sadly, the kiddo has some sort of stomach bug, so we may not be posting on time tomorrow, but it all just kind of depends on how he is in the morning. In the meantime, though, if you like the video, even if you didn't like the video, hit the like and subscribe button, because it really does help me out. And until next time, everybody, peace out!